Welcome back to a new video, folks. Today we're going to be going over how to make a ban command in discord.js version 14. In the last video we went over how to make a ban command. So in this video, unban command kind of makes sense. I don't know, haven't posted in a little bit. There's going to be a few new things that we're going to go over in this video, mainly regexes or regular expressions, because we also need to use user IDs. And we're going to be dealing with unbanning instead of banning, so it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more complicated because you have to find the ban of the user, then delete it, and then, yeah. It's a little bit different. It shouldn't be too hard, and hopefully we'll be able to get into buttons, select menus, all those other interactions and other fun stuff soon, as I have a really unique, I think, way to set everything up permanently. So you can have buttons that will never expire. So you're not waiting on a collector, a button collector. If you know what that is, good for you. But you won't have to wait on that every time you have a button. So say you have a button for creating a ticket with your bot. You don't want to have to put a collector on every single ticket create button on every single server that your bot is in. That's really inefficient. Instead, it would be nice to have a system that they click the create ticket button and say it goes to the ticket create command file, and then it runs a function in there and it creates the ticket. Wouldn't that be nice? Well, I've gotten that set up for my own bot for a long time. Works amazing. I think it's a pretty good design, pretty easy to set up with the command handler we already have, and we should be able to handle all interactions that way, and it's gonna be really cool. Also, it works very, very well for subcommands. I have a very interesting way to show you guys how to use subcommands. It's gonna be awesome. You guys are gonna love it. Super easy, super simple, so easy to maintain. There's like, you almost are as if you're writing normal commands, but it's even more organized. It's so simple. You guys are gonna love it. Can't wait to show you guys that. Anyway, what we're doing today, as I said, is we're making an unban command. So let's get started. We're going to create a new file. We're going to call it unban.js. There we go. We're done. No, I'm joking, obviously. We're going to need a few different things to make this work. But first, we're going to do our standard imports / command builder. And of course, it does help to require it first. So when we required it, then it does autocomplete, permission flag bits, and also embed builder. I think that's everything we need from discord.js. Yeah, we don't need to check higher permissions because we're just unbanning someone. New / command builder. Dot set name. Obviously it's gonna be unban. Set the description. Well, I didn't mean to do that, but we can always do permission flag bits dot on. Well, I guess it's ban members. I would assume that's what would. We'll just go with ban members, because if you can ban them, you should be able to unban them, I guess. Kind of makes sense. But you can always change it to admin if you want, or whatever else. And we're gonna say unban a member. Now here's the slightly different part that we have to do. Well, not this part, I guess. Set DM permissions. We're going to set this to false because we don't want people using this command in direct messages. We're going to add a string option right here. Dot set name. You know, Discord, a really nice thing that you could add in the future is the ability to make it so regexes can automatically do like a, how do I explain this? You can do validation as they're putting input in. So we don't have to validate their input afterwards. So we're gonna set this to user ID. Oh, sorry, make sure it's all lowercase. Set the description, user ID of the user you wish to unban. And we're going to set required, of course, to true. And then we're going to add string option, option, dot set name. And we're going to set this name to reason. Set description. Reason for unbanning user. And we're going to set required to false. The reason why is maybe you just want to unban someone super quick because there's an accident when you ban them. But you can make it required if you want. Totally up to you. I'm just going to make it so you don't have to specify. That's just my preference. Async execute. Interaction. And we're going to await interaction dot defer reply. And of course we're going to set it to ephemeral, because we don't want anyone else to be able to see it. I guess we're going to stick with the theme of the ban command, and we're going to do this to take apart the interaction. We're just going to get the options in the guild. It just makes life a little bit easier. And now it gets a little bit different from the ban command. So we're going to have to do const user ID equals await options dot get string user ID. Sorry, lowercase, because this has to match the name of the string option. And remember, options is because interaction has been broken down into options here. So you could also just do interaction dot options dot get string, but I just like making it simpler, and options dot get string. We're going to do const reason equals await options dot get string, and we're going to say reason. Then we're also going to put out here, if it is null, we're going to put not applicable. Again, the 2 question marks means if this is undefined, then just make it this text here, which in this case we put n/a, which often stands for not applicable, or the information wasn't provided. You can put whatever you'd like there. That's just like placeholder text essentially. And we're going to set the max length here, 155. Now I'm not sure. Yes, we did the same thing in the ban command, so I guess we'll just keep it the same for this sake. And we'll keep it at 255 maximum characters. All right. Now I have another thing a little bit different for you guys. We're going to make a new function, and we're going to say is valid snowflake. And this is checking to see if it's a valid user ID type essentially. We're going to say const snowflakeRegex equals, now do this very carefully. I will have this in the description if I remember. And we just have to type in this regex 0 to 9 bracket 17 19 $/ and then semicolon. Return snowflakeRegex dot test snowflake. And now essentially we can test it by just running is valid snowflake, and then you put the snowflake in. So that's a pretty self-explanatory way of doing that. And so now we can do that. We're going to do if, and remember exclamation mark means it's not, is valid snowflake. Then we're going to put in here the user ID. So we're saying if user ID isn't a snowflake, return. And we're going to say await interaction. Well, we don't have to await it because we're returning it, so it doesn't matter what happens afterwards. Interaction.edit reply. Remember, because we deferred the reply, so we have to edit it now. And we're just going to put some standard content in it. You could just put standard text right in the brackets if you wanted, but I'll do it like this. And we're going to say invalid user ID provided. Please make sure that the user ID field is set to an actual ID. Sure, you can put a bit more descriptive of a error message if you wanted. I think that'll suffice for now. Anyway, now we've established that it's an actual user ID. Also, this means it has to have 17 to 19 in length, I believe. So we're gonna set min length 17, set max length 19. Now this could change as Discord continues to grow, maybe. I hope not, but you never know. So just keep on top of that. But I'm gonna put this here just as a making sure that it's the right length of a user ID before letting them submit it. If it causes problems, just remove this and update this regex here to say it goes up to 20 now, then put up to 20. And then 0 to 9 just means that it has to be a number, like an actual number in there, and then it has to be 17 to 19 characters long. Should be pretty self-explanatory, hopefully. We're gonna make another simple one here. We're gonna say if, now follow along with this one, guild dot members dot me, that's referring to the bot, dot permissions dot, I can't remember if it's dot missing or dot has is the best one. I believe it's dot has, and we're gonna say permissions flag bits dot ban members, and we're gonna put an exclamation point at the beginning saying if the guild members dot me, so if myself, the bot, doesn't have the band members permission, because remember we're checking if it does have it here, and then we're saying okay, actually wait, no, if it doesn't have it with the exclamation point, we're going to return the exact same thing. Let me just get rid of this so it's easier to see, but instead we're going to say invalid permissions. I need to have the ban members permission in order to execute that command. Pretty self-explanatory. Now we're going to try and find the actual ban. So we're going to do try, and of course that means we have to do a catch at the end. Error, and we're going to say if error.name is equal to, this is very specific, I will also include this in the description, Discord API error square brackets 10,026. We're going to return interaction.edit reply content, and we're going to say unknown ban. Make sure to use actual quotation marks if you want to use this. I can't find that ban. I can't find the ban for that user. And what we're doing down here after the if statement is we're going to console.log error. So if we didn't find that it was this error and it wasn't the bot's fault, which in this case it would be there was no ban on that user, it would log this, or it would respond with that. So if this wasn't the case, then it's going to console log the error so we can hopefully fix it. That should do. We'll put a return here because we don't want to do anything after this. Now this is going to be very similar to the ban embed response, but it's going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and do it again just for demonstration purposes. Oh, sorry, before I forget, I guess we do need to try and do the unban up here in the try. I almost forgot about that. Const ban equals await interaction. I guess you don't have to do that because we already have the guild. So guild await guild dot bans, and I guess up here, yeah, we already did guild. Guild dot bans dot fetch user ID. User equals await ban dot user dot fetch await guild dot members dot unban user ID reason. And the user object here, we have to make sure we declare it out here. Let user, you see, just like that. The reason why we have to declare it out here is because once you use it in the try statement, you can't use it out here. And I just want to have a small try, and then I wanted to make the embed out here. You could put the embed in here if you wanted, but I figured I want to make it outside. So you got to make sure you define let user, and then user equals await ban.user.fetch. Pretty simple. And then guild.members.unban. And essentially why we're doing all this nonsense is we're getting the user, so we have like their name and stuff. So we do const ban equals blah blah blah, and then it's going to be user equals ban.user.fetch. And that's the whole reason why we get the ban, just so we can get the user. You don't have to do that if you don't want the user, but we're going to use the user in our embed. And let me just grab the existing code from the ban command, and we'll just edit as we need to. So this is the code from our ban command, and we're going to set the color to green because you're unbanning someone, so why not? We're going to set the author to be user.username. We're going to set the icon URL to be user.displayAvatarURL. And we're going to say unban. This is just going to be very simple. Issued by, and this is going to be interaction.user.username. And we're going to just have guild and reason remaining. We're going to do guild.name, and we're going to do reason here because we declared reason earlier, so we can just get the reason, and we're going to do guild.name as well. Pretty simple. Now we just have to go ahead and we'll just close that, and we're going to do interaction.edit reply. Embeds. Embed. Wow, I cannot spell today. Now, if everything went to plan, we should have a functioning unban command in just 74 lines, and it's very organized, so that's a bonus. I'm just going to go out and grab my terminal. If you don't have a terminal open, just go terminal, new terminal. We're going to stop the bot. We're going to do node deploy commands. And I can't remember if we did deploy commands. Yeah, deploy commands. And we already made it so it's global. So make sure, if you haven't done this already, I've talked about this in several other videos. If you want to make it so it deploys commands to all the servers that your bot is in, remove the guild in application guild commands and just make it application commands, and get rid of the guild ID inside of here. So you can see right here, this is the old one, and I had the guild ID as well. Just change it to routes.application commands and then just have the client ID in there, and everything should work fine. Anyway, we've deployed the commands, and now we're just going to start up the bot again with node dot. Now let's see what happens. We're going to /unban. And let's start by just doing a random one. Okay, between 17 and 19 characters. 11111. Oh no. Invalid user ID. Please make sure that the user ID is set to an actual ID. I wonder why that happened. Okay, clearly something is not right. Oh, okay. So my bad, you need to get rid of that space there. Very important. There should be no space between 17 and 19. This is why I'm going to have it in the description. There we go. That works. I'm sorry about that. Pretty simple fix though. All right, everything should be working. We're going to try and unban this bot. Unknown ban. Oh no. We're going to set the reason to nothing. And you see it's not a valid value. Because unknown ban. Anyway, so let's see if there's any bans. There are no bans. So I'm going to quickly /ban. And let me just go get a user ID real quick. One moment, please. Yeah, I just found a flaw in the ban and the kick command. And let's basically just say right here, if there's no target, return interaction.edit reply, invalid member. All right, so put this inside of your ban, your kick, and your warn commands. Put it above any other spot that target is used. Oh, make sure that you have the target fetched first though. That's also important. Anyway, yeah, put it there right after target is fetched, just so that they know that that's not a proper member. Because what I just found, and you see as this error, is what happened is I put in a user ID instead of a name for someone. And so if I show you /ban, and we were to put in a member or a user ID right there, a member ID, a user ID, there, now it says invalid member, but originally it wouldn't have. And now we can do something like that, and then perfect. So that works. So just make sure you do that. You shouldn't have a problem if it's just you're running it, but sometimes people will screw with things on purpose like that. Anyway, unban. I believe this is their user ID. We're gonna see that I did ban someone. We go into bans. I banned them. Haha. And testing. We're going to unban them with the reason testing. So I specified their user ID. Boom, unban. It shows their username. It shows their avatar. Issued by golden_dev. This is the guild. That's the reason. Pretty self-explanatory, right? Now if we go back and we look into bans, the ban is no longer there. We look into audit logs. Well, I can't, but it should say unbanned by tutorial bot, and the reason will be testing. That's pretty silly of me. We don't need member or infraction there. This is all we need. Pretty simple unban command, but it works very well. All right, that's it. See you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already though.